Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Tom Spark and welcome back to another VPN review. Today we're checking out oVPN. We're going to help you decide if you should buy it or not and where it ranks in the 2022 tier list. I did one last fall, but since then the rankings have changed a little bit, so I wanted to do an updated review since I do like the company behind this product and I do want them, honestly, to rate high. However, that's not how the tier list works. I don't just rate VPNs high because I want them to rate high. They have to score high in my objective pricing and overall rating system. So that's what we're going to be looking at oVPN through. If you guys want to check out other VPNs that could be rated higher, make sure to stay up to date with vpntierlist.com. Check the tier rankings every so often. Also, if you are looking for other privacy products to complement VPN services, check the description down below. Anti-dox tool, encrypted email, antivirus, and even a little merch brand I partnered up with. Anyways, guys, so let's get into the review right now. So oVPN is an interesting VPN because I actually did some interviews with the CEO. The CEO is a really cool guy. His name's David. And they even have a kind of a court-proven kind of thing. They had been fighting courts when information was requested to them, and they emerged victorious. You can find more details about that here. So it was basically a movie company going after oVPN, trying to get them to give logs away. So oVPN and pretty much like TorGuard are, as I know right now, the only companies that have been like kind of court proven to not collect logs, which is a cool thing for both TorGuard and this one. So that is definitely a cool little niche about oVPN. But besides that, let's dive right into the review itself. So they have a kind of a 2-month deal, which averages around $5 a month, which is going to be $120 for every 2 years. That's not a bad deal, and you do get multi-hop and a free oVPN t-shirt. So we have 1 month for around $11, 6 months for $54, 12 months for $60. That's not a bad price overall, especially if it includes Netflix compatibility. So it's not too badly a priced VPN. That said, the simultaneous device count is a little bit low, and I don't like that they don't include a multi-hop for the 1 month model. I think it's kind of a needless upcharge that I've seen some other VPNs like iVPN do as well. Another thing we're going to be looking for with oVPN is how many servers it has. This is something that can impact people worldwide if they have a server close by. Alright guys, next up we have the application, and this is what oVPN's application looks like. It's pretty basic, and they have some like kind of cool little WireGuard things. We can regenerate the keys and have new details there. But they also have some other kind of settings too outside of WireGuard. I'm finally glad to see them having WireGuard now. I kind of had dinged them a good amount because it impacts the speeds and also the application when a VPN does not have WireGuard. So it's good to see they finally have that. I'm really glad to see that. A lot of these smaller VPNs took quite a while to implement it. And they have some other minor things here. Nothing too much going on though behind the scenes. They have a basic kill switch. It's an auto connect features. But that seems to be it. We have the best server chosen automatically, as well as some statistics here about your download. So let's go ahead and connect and allow access and see how it goes. So fortunately, the connection was super quick, which should be expected from WireGuard. It didn't connect me to a Seattle server, which was a little bit disappointing. It could be very possible that they don't have one. We have server loads here, which is kind of cool. Good information here, which I do like. We have Sydney. I kind of wish these were organized a little bit better. There doesn't seem to be any way to organize them. They have a lot of Swedish servers. So here we go. Some New York servers. It doesn't look like they have one for Seattle. And that's kind of what I was talking about when I was talking about the pricing. That there are going to be less servers here, probably with some of the bigger VPN providers out there, and maybe even some of the mid-grade VPNs too, like TorGuard probably has a little bit more servers. So let's go ahead and test out some speeds now that we looked at the application. So now that oVPN has WireGuard, I'm actually expecting way better speeds than before. Without VPN on, I get around 950. Down and upload is around the same, so really fast internet. Some of my fastest VPNs get me around 850. So that's really what we're looking for here. But honestly, these speeds aren't bad. Getting close to 800 is what I'm looking for, and oVPN is actually getting that. So I'm really happy to see just shy of 800. So pretty close to fast as some VPNs out there. My ping's a little high. I would like it to be more around 5 ms. So that's something to kind of think about. Honestly, not quite as good as some VPNs that have a Seattle server, but this is still perfectly workable and pretty close to excellent speeds. Maybe not a 5 out of 5 for speeds, but probably a 4.5 out of 5. Just take into consideration a little bit less servers around the world for some people out there. But overall, for me, this is perfectly usable and only like a couple percent difference than some of the fastest VPNs out there that are much better. With something like Nord, I usually get something around this region. Torguard, for some reason, just is super fast for me, usually around 850. But if this is as fast as some other VPNs like Nord and some of those big boys, these are pretty good speeds. So now we're going to be doing like the privacy audit for oVPN. How does it do in terms of stuff on their website, like trackers? Fortunately, it does look like oVPN has no ad trackers, no cookies, and no evasion of these things, and no connections to Google Analytics or Facebook Analytics. This is really nice. If we're going to be looking at it here as well with the trackers on Android, we're going to look it up and see if it has any concerning trackers or just things that other VPNs might not have. So it has 0 trackers and only 5 permissions. This might be one of the best performances we've seen from a VPN so far. And even though oVPN's application might be basic, it shows the attention to detail they have with this kind of thing. Core privacy is their thing, and I really like that. So good job here, guys. So one other thing I look for the privacy audit is 2-factor authentication. And for some reason, oVPN does not seem to have it yet. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if I'm missing it. But as far as I could tell, they just simply don't have it, which is too bad since they would have got a perfect result here in the privacy test. And we're also going to be looking for the streaming service unblocking because it does have this as a feature on their website, so we'll find out if it works. So guys, we're now doing the stream compatibility test, and unfortunately oVPN still doesn't hold up to my inspections. Zone 414 is a US only title. And we cannot find it here on the US version. And if it doesn't work with the US version, we're not going to bother testing the other one since this is kind of like the benchmark. Let's test some of the other streaming services and see if they have any better performance. Unfortunately, the other streaming services didn't give me any better performance, and even Hulu was blocking my login for some reason, which is a little bit odd. For some reason, though, it did work with Prime Video, as I've found in the past, which is also a little bit odd, but they get a point or two there. So guys, let's finish up the review. Here we have oVPN. We have highlighted it in that blue color. And you can see the different point breakdown there. Overall, though, it gets a 28.65, which is actually tier 4, which is not too good. And that's kind of disappointing to me to see. Where is the point breakdown here from oVPN? Well, it is a decent product in a lot of ways. It's very privacy friendly, except the fact it doesn't have 2FA. And it gets decent speeds if you're in one of the areas that have servers. It does have a limited server selection, but it's not too bad since it does have WireGuard. The support is also a little bit slow, but pretty friendly and responsive. They should respond to you within a day or so of their time period. That said, it does kind of fail on streaming. It doesn't really work with most streaming providers, and it didn't work with Netflix, which is a bit disappointing. The pricing is also a little bit more expensive than average, and the application itself is also missing some advanced features that some other VPNs have had for a while. It's ultimately just a super basic application in terms of how it works, and also its design. It just kind of gets the job done, and that's kind of how it works. So overall, oVPN, it's a VPN that I do like, but I can't say it's a VPN I recommend to everybody. If you're someone who doesn't really care about streaming, and you're within one of the areas that has servers, you don't mind paying a little bit extra, and you don't need a fancy application, and you don't need 2FA, this is a pretty good VPN provider. And that makes it a unique use case proposition, because most VPNs who are in this tier, if we take a look at other VPNs in tier 4 like IPVanish and Hala and ZenMate, these VPNs aren't really what I would consider privacy friendly. And in fact, a lot of VPNs in this category as well, like CyberGhost and ExpressVPN, some other VPNs there have had more things wrong with them than oVPN has. It's core proven to give away no logs, which is also a really big bonus. It just as a whole kind of feels a little bit underdeveloped, which is just kind of a symptom of it being a smaller company. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on oVPN. I do like the VPN and I do like the people running it, but it's not necessarily something I could say that really competes with some of the other VPNs in S tier or tier 1, like these ones, which just seem to be doing more with their resources for whatever reason. Anyways, guys, thanks for checking out this one, and I'll see you again very soon.